Welcome to Recognizing Linear Relations. So, before we start, we have to talk about what a linear relation is, okay? So, linear relation. So what that basically means is that the equation has a constant slope, okay? The equation has a constant slope. That's what a linear relation means, okay? So what a slope is, it's the change in y divided by the change in x. So let me show you what that means. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's your slope. Slope is also written as m, okay? So let's take a look at this question over here. Let's look at the slope between these two numbers, okay? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what that means is the second y value minus the first y value divided by the second x value minus the first y value. That's what your m is, okay? So this equals, let's just go big. Okay, I'm gonna have to move this. Okay. Let's erase that. Okay. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals, so the second y is 1 minus the first y is 0 over second x is negative 1 minus, and the first x is negative 2 equals 1, because 1 minus 0 is just 1, and negative 1 minus negative 2. So if I were to actually, there's no point drawing this. You should already know how to solve this. That's negative 1 plus 2 equals 1 over 1, which is m equals 1. Okay, let's take a look at this one over here. So, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is, let's look at the second y. The second y is 2, the first y is 1, so it's 2 minus 1 over the second x is 0, the first x is negative 1, so that's 0 minus negative 1, so that is 1 over 0 plus 1, which is just 1, so m here equals 1. Okay, so let's take a look at between here. So that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Ooh, what just happened? Okay. Sorry about that. Minus x1. So that is, this is the second y, this is the first y, this is the second x, this is the first x. So that's 3 minus 2 over 1 minus 0, which is 1 over 1. So m equals 1. Let's look at this one. So this is the second y and the first y. This is the second x, this is the first x. So that is 4 minus 3 over 2 minus 1. Oops, you have to write y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals that, which is 1 over 1, so m equals 1. Okay, so because for all four of these m equals 1, that means the slope is constant. Slope is constant. M equals 1. So what that means is, yes, this is a linear relation. Okay? That's your answer. Let's take a look at this one now. Okay? Start with this. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 here is this one. Y2 is the second one, which is 1 minus. Then y1 is 4 over. x2 is negative 1 minus. And x1 is negative 2. Okay, if you didn't catch that, I'm talking about these numbers over here. Okay, we're looking at the change between those numbers, so that becomes negative 3 over negative 1 plus 2, which is negative 3 over 1, which is negative 3. Okay, so m equals negative 3 here. Let's look at this one. So y2 here is 0, minus y1 is 1, over x2 is 0, minus x1 is negative 1, negative 1. So this is negative 1 over 0 plus 1, which is negative 1. So m equals negative 1 here. So we can already tell that these slopes are not equal. Okay, so because the slope is not constant, this is not a linear relation. So a constant slope means that m is the same between this value, this, and this. Okay, so that's what a constant slope is. Okay, so the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 for each of these intervals would be the same. That's what a constant slope is. Let's look at this one now. So, let's look here. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is y2 is 7 minus y1 is 5, x2 is negative 2 minus x1 is negative 4. So this becomes 2 over negative 2 plus 4, which is 2 over 2. So m equals 1 over here. Let's take a look at this one. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The second y is this is the first y, the second x is this is the first x. So this equals 9 minus 7 over 0 minus negative 2, which is 2 over 0 plus 2, which is 2 over 2, so m equals 1. Okay, let's take a look at this interval over here. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So the second y is 11, the first y is 9, the second x is 2, the first x is 0. So this becomes 11 minus 9 over 2 minus 0. Okay, you can slow down and pause, because I know I'm going by a bit quick, but because we have a lot of questions here, and these questions take a lot of time. Okay, so this is 2 over 2, which is 1, so m equals 1. Let's take a look at this one. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is, this is y2, this is y1, this is x2, this is x1, so that is 13 minus 11 over 4 minus 2, which is 2 over 2, so m equals 1. So because each of these is the exact same, each of these m's, m equals 1, m equals 1, m equals 1, m equals 1, that means that this is a linear relation because the slope is constant. Okay? And then you box your answer. So that's recognizing linear relations.